Fitzy, I just want to start with the culture that's been built in New Jersey. Obviously, you talked a lot about the city and how it's a hidden gem and everything, but what about the culture that's been built in the locker room? And you see guys like Meyer, Bratt, Holla. I mean, Holla was as excited as anybody to want to remain here. So what's been built in that locker room so far?
Well, the people. People build cultures. People are the ones who set the standards and the expectations within that locker room. I'm a big proponent of, what you permit is what you promote. If you permit, mediocrity, then you're promoting it. If you permit excellent, you're promoting it. So you permit getting on the ice early or late, then you're promoting it. The players, first and foremost, it's their locker room. I can say this stuff, but they've got to carry it out, and they've got to believe in it. And the culture's only getting stronger, I can tell you that.
And obviously it's been a busy week for you, but I do want to touch on Toffoli, adding him to the mix.
Yeah.
What kind of player is he? What can fans expect from him? And is he kind of one of those tough guys, those playoff type players that really could help this team?
For sure, he's a heavy player. We talk about getting a little bit heavier, especially on the walls. He's got winning pedigree, two-time Stanley Cup champ, scored some big goals at big moments. Again, having the luxury to add something like this to the group we already have, I just think these things mesh really well. My expectations are that he's going to come in, he's going to play hard, he's going to compete hard, he's going to push his teammates to play harder, and again, help build on the culture that we've added. Everybody comes in, it's their locker room, like I said, but he brings a lot to the table.
Adding a lot of players to the roster, also adding to the bench. What's a guy like Travis Green, his experience coming here, helping whether it's in the power play or just having another voice in Lindy's ear? What can you bring to the team?
Well, Travis, like myself, has experienced a lot in this league as a player. He got drafted as a top offensive type player and transitioned himself into being one of the best penalty kill checkers, whatever you want, face-off guy in the league. So he brings the experience that he has gone through that he could help with, our players. It's invaluable. He's now been a head coach for, 8 years, going back to his American Hockey League days. But again, the biggest thing that I really admire about Travis is his growth mindset. He just wants to get better and he wants to learn. Now he has a chance to learn under Lindy Ruff. And I'm sure he wants to be a head coach. Everybody does, right? But he's willing to work with us. And I know how excited he and his family were to finalize this deal here in New Jersey. And he had options, but he chose us.
And we're here, obviously the awards just took place a couple days ago. Runners up, obviously you want to win, but at least it speaks volumes of these guys how young they are. I mean, getting a Selke nomination at that young age, or even for Jack, what does it speak to them and their abilities? And even Lindy, getting up for Coach of the Year.
Well, let's start with Lindy. I just think what he's gone through. I had someone tell me last night, maybe the best move I've made in this organization is hiring Lindy Ruff, because he bought into everything I was selling him on development with our young players. Allow them to grow, allow them to make mistakes. Don't be frustrated. This is the process we're in, and we'll reap the benefits for it. You look at the growth of Jack, Nico, Bratter, Luke in a small period. I can go on. Where Dougie's game went to this year. Lindy takes all the credit, but he'll pass it on too. He'll deflect it to his staff. He was rewarded for that this year. You talk about Jack and his growth. I don't think this will be the last time we see Jack at an awards. And Nico, and I've said this right when he started. I felt we drafted somebody who was very similar to an ex-teammate of mine, and he reminds me a lot of my ex-teammate, and that's Patrice Bergeron. I got an opportunity to play with Patrice my last year in Boston. Patrice's first or maybe his second year. Nico's got a lot of those qualities. He takes a lot of pride in the 200-foot game. He can add offense. You saw what he did this year. But really good people. So I don't think it'll be the last time you see those two at an awards show.
Last one for me, obviously, it's the draft. This is an exciting time for a lot of young prospects. What do you remember from your draft?
I remember I was in Montreal in 1986. I remember hearing my name called, going down to New York Islanders. And I was an Islander fan growing up for obvious reasons. I was a Bruins fan for sure, but because they were winning cups, you were like, wow. being drafted by that organization, a sense of pride. I got a chance to follow in the footsteps of the Trottiers and the LaFontaines and the Potvins and the Nystroms and the Clark Gillies and the Bossies and the Smith. I can go on and on. I was a fan. But what I remember the most was I came down, they gave me my jersey, had number 1 on it, and they asked me for it back. And I said, I can't keep this. And they were like, no, we need it for rounds 2 through 12. But I waited around all day, and I took that jersey home.
You deserved it. You earned it.
Yep.
Any memories of draft memories from the management side that really stand out to you?
The drafts that actually stand out to me are the ones when you hear your son's name. And I got a chance to hear my 2 older boys' names being called, one by the Boston Bruins and the other by the Buffalo Sabres. And you talk about a sense of pride. Yeah, it's just it was everything. It was the start of their career.
Hopefully they got to keep their jerseys too.
They got to keep their jerseys.
Thanks, Fitzy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.